War here, and today we've got a rating your one-man Doom stack, playing as the Warriors of Chaos. We've got Prince Sigvald the Magnificent here by himself. He's got the Sword of Cain, and in terms of resistances, he's got 69% ward save, an additional 35% missile resistance, and 30% magic resistance. So missile units aren't going to do much damage, magic attacks aren't going to do anything, or not going to do much, but there's very little magic attack in here. Well, these two have a bit. But it seems like he's only got the 69% ward save. Anyway, let's just jump into this battle and see how he goes. It's also on large unit scale, which I don't think is really going to matter too much in this scenario here. I was just thinking as well that if you want him to be even stronger, what you'd want to do is hunt down Wurzag and get his defeat trait for the 10% physical resistance, because the way the ward save works is it's all attacks are either physical or magic damage, right? So his magic resistance is maxed out. Can't go up any higher. But he's essentially taking, what is that, 31% damage from all physical attacks. If he gets 10% extra physical resistance, then that means he's only taking 21% physical damage from every physical attack, which is essentially reducing the damage that he takes by 30%, allowing him to last 30% longer in a battle like this. So I think it would be really significant to go do that. I can't think of anyone else offhand where you could go and get a defeat trait where it would get him extra physical resistance. I think Wurzag's the only one. Anyway, let's just send him in and see how it goes. So I'll be largely comparing this to the other one-man Doom stack that we did, which was against Malice Darkblade. It's not very high battle difficulty, right? Yeah.
Close on the sheep. Charge them.
So, just because we don't take much damage from their artillery doesn't mean we should try to take hits. So, zigzag on the way there. Take a few hits on the way. Can't be helped.
Drag us to the swords. Charge quickly.
The thing is, while they doesn't seem like they can kill him, what ends up happening is eventually you just run out of regen if the battle lasts long enough. And the thing that made Malice Darkblade so good with the Sword of Cain is that, for one thing, he had higher ward save, but also, alright, let's get rid of the... Yeah, let's get rid of them. But also, he has 2 pools of health, so when he's really low on health, you just summon Tarkan and then boom, extra health, and you get all your items back. So these kind of Doom stacks are really easy to use as well. Don't have to really do much.
Flay them.
Now, the Warriors of Chaos are one of the few races in the game where it's pretty much okay to pick up the Sword of Cain and get it to dominating, because the extra upkeep, the extra 10%, really doesn't matter that much, because in the late campaign, Warriors of Chaos really don't have that much to spend their favor on, and they make tons of cash just from winning battles. So while it definitely isn't benefiting your entire race by getting it, you do tend to, like, if you're doing a good job with Warriors of Chaos, you do tend to end up with like 1,000,000 favor anyway, so spending it, whatever, who cares. Other potential things that you can spend it on is like bribing people to become your vassal, which, again, that just gives you more favor. But yeah, so far tearing them up. I think a lot of their damage is friendly fire though. Alright, how much regen do we have left? We've already used up more than half of it. Yeah, I reckon defeating Wurzag would make this so much better for Sigvald. Because, you know, he is taking damage.
Kill them! Get your beards out the way,
Almost killed the enemy lord. We need to stay in melee so that you can get the Sword of Cain ability again. Might be a good idea to hit these gunners, because they'll probably do a lot of damage. Let me have a look. Yeah. Because they got tons of ammo. Don't worry too much about their melee units. If they don't want to come at us, whatever.
Chaos come. All will be despoiled.
Yeah. I reckon those flamers are doing more damage to their own unit. It's also possible that a lot of this damage here is actually friendly fire as well.
Tremble, mortals. The Geld Prince speaks. Very well, fool. Bring carnage.
But yeah, his primary way of dealing out damage is either friendly fire or by popping down the Sword of Cain. So you get that every 2 minutes.
Deliver slaughter.
Archaon's another candidate that can get the Sword of Cain. I wouldn't do it with Kolek. I mean, you could, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could do it with any of the Warriors of Chaos Lords. What I meant by wouldn't do it with Kolek is I wouldn't make him a one-man army, because he should really command Shaggoths. He boosts them by so much, whereas Sigvald doesn't boost Shaggoths at all. He can't keep up with Shaggoths. Okay, we've used up all of our regen now, just about. Yeah, he can't keep up with Shaggoths, so he's constantly being left behind while they do all the work, whereas at least Archaon can keep up with them. And giving him an army of Marauders, while it can be free, like I said, money is just not really an issue for the Warriors of Chaos in the late campaign. So making him a one-man army could be useful for drawing enemies out of their hidey holes, because they see this and they're like, oh, we can easily beat that, and then they end up losing. And if they do end up winning, whatever. Then you didn't really lose much. Just rebuild him with some horde growth and then get him back at it again. Of course, you got to go find the Sword of Cain again every time you lose it. Definitely not as good as Malice. Definitely not as good. Yeah, he really needs that extra physical resistance.
Attack the mortals.
I reckon if we had that physical resistance, we'd still be at full health right now.
They will succumb.
Gotta get rid of these goddamn gunners.
Now. Deliver slaughter. Will not share
Never mind, there's the army losses.
eat their soul.
Still, there was only one army, and Sigvald handled it, but not... Like, if there was 2 armies, we probably would have lost. Whereas Mal's Darkblade, he handled like 4 armies. And was still pretty close to full health, I think, by the end of it.
That's what the masters bid.
But yeah, if you want to make this a bit stronger, definitely go and hunt down Wurzag. I can't really see any other way to make him much stronger, apart from hunting down people like Nakai or Krokgar, just to get extra melee defense. Because I think the melee attack's high enough. You could go and hunt down Helebron. Getting extra missile resistance wouldn't be needed, so you wouldn't want to necessarily hunt down Morgur or Eltharion or Marcus Wolfheart. That's not going to do anything. But yeah, it's strong. It's strong. It's not as impressive as Mal's Darkblade, not by a long shot. Malice just has way more staying power. Yeah. Let's have a look on the campaign map and see if there was anything else we could do to maybe boost Sigvald a little bit to make him a bit more resilient, because like his ability to dish out damage is fine. Like he was killing those lords and heroes really quickly, which is great. But the problem with that is that he just can't go up against any more than 1 stack. At least the dwarfs. So the item that I was thinking might need replacing is the Chalice of Chaos. But what could you give him that would be better than that? Doesn't need the extra missile resistance, and you're not going to get a ward save item in an enchanted item. And you already got the Mark of Cinch, Talisman of Preservation, Auric Armor, yeah. The only thing I could really think he could do is go and hunt down Wurzag, who I think, yeah, he would probably still exist. Possibly. Hunting down Isabel. Isabella's gone already, but getting extra regen for Sigvald, it does stack with Auric Armor, but that would only be really helpful if he was taking, like, damage too quickly, which isn't the issue there. He wasn't taking damage too quickly, he just ran out of regen. But yeah, I think it's, you know, it's a out of all of the Warriors of Chaos armies, Legendary Lords, I reckon giving this one-man Doomstack to Sigvald is probably the best choice. Because like I said, Archaon and Kolek can both keep up with Shaggas, so they don't need to be a one-man army, even though Archaon can't give them any significant boosts like Kolek can. And if you give Sigvald a Shaggoth army, he's just constantly being left behind, so sending him out on his own might be more thematic, and you can certainly make it work. Like I said before as well, like, he's got so much money, it's pretty late in the campaign. Money's just not an issue for the Warriors of Chaos. If you're playing them correctly, because yeah, you don't have to worry about public order, you don't really need to worry about diplomatic relations, everybody hates you anyway, and the extra upkeep cost is just not that big of a deal for the Warriors of Chaos at this point. So yeah, overall, pretty good, but I'd probably only give it like 8 out of 10 for one-man Doomstacks. Like, Malice is a 10 out of 10 for a one-man Doomstack. I really can't see anyone being better than Malice for that title, and I think this is 2 points lower than it. If you gave him the extra physical resistance, I reckon maybe that'd be like an 8.5, but I can't see that getting any higher than that. Anyway, that's the end of this one, guys. Let me know what you think of this particular one-man Doomstack, and let me know in the comments below who you think would be another good candidate for the one-man Doomstack, keeping in mind, of course, that the Sword of Cain causes big problems for the faction. So factions such as Dark Elves can really have a lot of problems with having Malice as a one-man Doomstack, and so on and so forth, depending on who you want to use. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.